Hello, I'm wbz-tv meteorologist Barry Burbank, and I have your forecast for the rest of this Sunday and for the next several days, taking us right on through most of the week till next Sunday. Here's what's going on as we take a look at the days getting longer. Let there be light, and there will be light as more and more sunlight will be into the evening hours especially, and of course more so in the early mornings as well. Yesterday we hit the milestone on St. Patrick's Day for March 17th when we had 12 hours flat of daylight. When we hit 13 hours flat, that'll be April 7th. When we hit 14 hours flat of daylight, that'll be April 29th. And when we hit 15 hours flat, that'll be May 29th. So some things to look forward to in the weeks and months ahead. Well, we do know what happened in February, and that was an astonishingly warm month. In fact, the warmest February on record in Boston, tying with 1925 with a mean temperature, a remarkable plus 6.4. By the way, it was back on February 3rd. That was the last time it was this cold this morning when Boston was down to 16 degrees. On February 3rd, it was down to 10 degrees on that date. So it was a cold day, minus 11. But most of the rest of the month, as you can see, how warm it was. How are we stacking up so far this month of March? Well, the mean temperature is a measly plus 0.3. And with 3 or 4 cold days coming up here, perhaps even more this week, we're going to go into the negative column, that's for sure. Last March was cold as well. So we're looking almost like we did last year, perhaps not quite as cold, but last March was way below average by about 4 degrees. So that's amazing. 2 years in a row now where March has been colder than February has been. Of course, especially this year with February being so warm. And that's only happened twice before in the weather records of Boston history going back to 1872. The 2 years that happened previously was 1984 and 1960. Well, we certainly still have a lot of snow left around on the ground in many locations, except a sliver here in the Connecticut River Valley, along the New England South Coast, and parts of the Outer Cape don't have much of any snow at all on the ground. It's almost a bare ground there. And the snow cover is certainly shrinking across southern New England as well, but there's still a lot of deep snow as you get farther west and northwest of Boston and in northern New England, where the snow is really deep. And so I can tell you this, you got to get out there today and the next few days if you are able to get away and enjoy downhill and cross-country skiing like a lot of us haven't been able to enjoy because there hasn't been that much snow this year. The snowmobilers are really rejoicing over this. People want to get out and snowshoe. The winter sports enthusiasts very happy with what happened, but all the other folks who want spring to happen got to hang in there and try to be patient, as we always have to do seemingly almost every single spring. The low in Boston this morning was 16. The average low for this date is 32. Not down to the record. As cold as it was, the record was 5 above zero back in 1885. That's crazy cold. Today's high, well, we're looking at temperatures getting up into the 33 range as of this recording time on this Sunday morning. It's up to 19. But it was back in 2012 on this date when we hit 74. 74, that was the blowtorch winter. Every single month of the winter, right on through the spring, was crazy warm, especially the month of March of 2012. It was just unbelievably almost hot. Well, we're looking at wind chill temperatures this afternoon around 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, be in the upper teens and lower 20s. That's what it will feel like with the wind blowing. It's not going to be a ferocious wind like it was at times yesterday afternoon. Tomorrow morning when you head out to the bus stop, getting to school, going to work, wind chill temperature is going to be in the single numbers, not because there'll be a powerful wind, but just a little bit of wind blowing will chill that air off a little bit more. And then by tomorrow afternoon, it won't feel quite as bad, feeling like 25 to 30 degrees. High temperatures today will be running about 33, 34 in most spots. As compared to the rest of the nation that's looking so nice and warm and spring-like and even summer-like across the deep south, we're in the cold corner, and that is familiar phrase that we use here almost every single spring. We're in the cold corner of the country again, but we'll have plenty of bright sunshine today, just a few scattered clouds. It goes essentially clear for tonight. Watching the timestamp up here. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine as well, just a few scattered clouds. And then by the time we get to Tuesday, things will change a bit. There's your lows tonight. 10 to 12 in the coldest suburbs, to around near or just under 20 in Boston. Tomorrow's high is about 36 to 39 in most spots, so that's a bit of a recovery, but still almost 10 degrees below average. On Tuesday, getting up to 40, that's still below average, but that's the day that spring begins. Absolutely at 12:15 in the afternoon, the vernal equinox, as it's going to be clouding over on Tuesday. And we'll have to wait and see what happens to these storms taking shape and crossing the country. Looks like there's going to be 2 centers The first center will streak out here underneath us, so we shouldn't get anything out of that on Tuesday. It's the next one which will take shape and have more support to become a more powerful storm. And at this point, it looks like we'll just be grazed or just brushed by it over southeastern Massachusetts. Can't rule out a couple of inches or a few inches of snow out of that. It's really too early to be confident about this forecast yet, but I'm fairly confident that we're not going to get a major storm. So most indications favor mainly a miss or just a brush as this thing really starts developing out there and heading out toward the Canadian Maritimes. So we'll probably wave goodbye to that, and hopefully it misses us, because a lot of folks just don't want another storm at this point after everything we've been through. So my 7 days ahead look like this. Cold days ahead right on through most of the week until we get to the end of the week. Then we'll go perhaps above average or close to average on Thursday afternoon as the sun starts to come out then, and partly sunny over the weekend. But again, a chance of a grazing of snow here, southeastern Mass especially, Wednesday night and Thursday morning. By the way, long shot special, there's a chance that we could have some accumulating snow in the region here 1 week from today on Sunday. It's a long way off, so anything can happen, but that's the way it's trending at this point. That's your forecast. You can watch WBZ News tonight. You can see it at 11 o'clock, certainly at 8 o'clock on MyTV 38 as well. Have a nice rest of the day.